Well, I just can't say enough about our players. Their resiliency they showed today. I mean, to be down 15 late in the first half and then to fight back, did a really good job at the end of the first half to cut it to 9. That was important. We cut it to 9. Had we been down 15 or 16, it had been hard to come back, but we got it to 9, and then we just said just one possession at a time, try to get back in the game, and they did it. I mean, they showed a lot of toughness. They definitely don't want to go home.
Go ahead with questions for Coach. Once again, please wait for a microphone and identify yourself by name and media outlet. Good. Oh, on the right side.
Coach, to Ted Lewis from the New Orleans Advocate, 2 questions. First of all, just Wesley Person scoreless in the first half and just goes crazy in the second half. Secondly, can you talk about the journey? You still got a game to win to get the NCAA tournament. This program without 6 straight losing seasons, and to come this far this year, just what's made that, how that journey and how you look forward to tomorrow for that opportunity.
Well, Ted, the first question about Wesley, he was. I thought he was a little tired early. We were hoping, they wouldn't have dead legs, but he was a little tired early. But they did a great job on him. I mean, if you look at his numbers that he's put up so far in his first 2 games, they guarded him a little differently this time. They weren't letting him catch. And when they play that matchup zone, they'll usually rotate off him. But in the first half, they didn't do that at all. And I think he got 3 shots off in the first half, and I don't know that any of them were even decent looks. One of them was decent, but in the second half, he just seems he has an incredible level of endurance about him. I mean, the second half, he didn't look like he had played 3 games. It was our 3rd game in 72 hours, and he didn't look like that. He made big shots. He won the ball. He's gotten so much better off the dribble. We run a little action where he could either shoot it or drive it, and he was good taking the ball to the rim. And to answer your second question, it's just it's kind of sneaks up on you. It's all day to day, and we're about as day-to-day as it gets, and that's one thing we talked to our team about before we came down there, just be day-to-day about it. But in the big picture, as you mentioned there, the one thing that has stood out to me was I've followed that Northwestern situation a lot, what they're going through. And one thing that stood out to me, I read an article a while back, and I think he said it 2 years ago, maybe I think it was last year, not this year, but Chris Collins is a coach, and his dad is Doug Collins. And I read a quote from Doug Collins, and he said, when you're building something and you feel like the way you're doing it the right way. And he made a comment, he said, the wins are the last thing to come. And that's really stood out to me. And we just kind of tried to dwell on that. And I think that's been the case for our program. The wins have been the last thing to come. And we've really gotten hot lately. And so it's a great ride we're on right now. And we're going to enjoy it, for 24 more hours.
We're now joined by Wesley Person. Any questions for Wesley?
Well, just Wesley, Ted Lewis from the New Orleans Advocate, Coach said they were denying you the ball in the first half. What did you do to adjust your game in the second half? And just tell me your emotions about you coming to this program and they've been down and down through your first couple of years here, and now you're on the brink of the NCAA tournament. How are you going to sleep tonight, even though you're losing an hour's sleep?
Oh, yeah, like you said, they did come out early and they were denying me, trying to take away some looks that I've been getting the last couple of games. But I just kept being patient, and in the second half, just started driving the ball, getting myself going. Then I got a few good looks, and I knocked them down when we need them in the clutch. And it's been a rough the first couple of years here, but I believe in my teammates, and I believe in Coach, and he's been saying just keep believing, and we're gonna turn this thing around. And it's just amazing to see how far we've come from last year to now, and being 1 game away from the NCAA tournament.
Got a question on the left side.
Rashad Milligan of the Signal. Wesley, as the number 6 seed in the championship game, down 15 late in the first half, what is that one thing that gets you guys to keep believing in those situations?
Just togetherness. We've been down like this before, and came back and got our wins, and we just stayed together, kept believing in each other, and we knew we'd make our run and get back to the game, and luckily we were able to finish it out.
In the back left.
Hey guys, Rich Hollenberg, ESPN. Congratulations on the win. Wesley, can you describe what your experience was like growing up in a quote-unquote basketball family and how that's helped you get to this point?
It was just incredible just to grow up around, basketball with my dad and my uncle both playing, multiple seasons in the NBA, and just with that upbringing, I've been around basketball my whole life, so I got to work around them and other pros. So that's helped guide me to where I am now.
Besides your dad, was there an NBA player that you aspired to be besides your dad?
Well, my favorite player growing up was Allen Iverson. I know we don't play nothing like, but he just always he's been my all-time favorite.
Any additional questions for Coach or Wesley?
Side note to that, remember Iverson was a quarterback in high school. He was a quarterback in high school too, so.
Thank you very much, guys. Coach Hunter, if you could begin with a brief opening statement, please.
Yeah. First, I want to congratulate Troy. Thought his kids did a nice job. And the thing that bothered us all year is the thing that cost us at the end of the season: turnovers. Turn the ball over, and been doing that all year. When we turn the ball over 12 or less times, we win like we did last night. When we get to the point we had 17 turnovers, it's going to be really hard, and we let it kind of get away. So, questions?
Questions for Coach? Start with Ted and go ahead with there.
I'll make my way over.
All right, Coach. Up 15. Just describe how the team was feeling at that point in the first half.
Well, again, I thought we lost it at the end. We didn't close the half out, and I was really upset at halftime because I thought we let it get away. We didn't close the half out, so instead of being up 15 or 20, it was a 9-point game. And then I thought we had the ball, and then I didn't think we opened the half up very well. We 2 of the first 3 possessions were turnovers, and so it just kind of stayed there and grinded. I thought we kept saying if we can get just one run, we thought we were 1 run away from winning it, and then they kind of we were defending them, and all of a sudden they start hitting shots, And so when you let a team around and you start letting them around and hang around, and that's what happens. Their 2 best players got going. We did a great job up until that point, really frustrating the person, and it's really struggled. And all of a sudden he sees it go in, like it's too late then.
Go to Ted Lewis from the New Orleans Advocate.
Ron, they changed the tournament format this year, and so you had to play yesterday, but Troy played 2 games to get here. Do you think that made any difference?
That's a hard one for me, and I've thought a lot about this because I think that the format that we had, when you protect your top 2 seeds, is the way to do it. But I'm also in favor that every student athlete should experience this. And win all 12 teams. I think it's bad when kids can't participate in this. So I would rather the kids participate as student athletes than my greediness in saying that the seeds to be protected.
Coach, it's the end of Willie Clayton, Isaiah Dennis, and Jeremy Hollowell's careers. Just how do you feel about how their careers and their last season went at Georgia State? Well,
Isaiah Dennis goes out as the all-time winningest student athlete in the history of Georgia State. And so when you come into a program, that's a big statement. We won a lot of games since he's been here. Jeremy has done terrific for us, and of course we had Willie for 1 year. And so what these guys have built traditions for this program of winning. When we first got here, the culture was terrible. Now it's a culture of always trying to win championships. So I'll always be indebted to my seniors.
Any further questions? One last one on the left.
Coach, where do you see the future of this program?
I think it'll be great. It's great. I mean, we were 20-12, and so this is 3 of the last 4 years we've won 20 games. There are not many major teams in the country that have done that, and so we got a great recruiting class, and so we'll be better and we'll get back.